Doubt is a very important tool for a spiritual seeker. To doubt means to look into something. It's to not take what you've been told at first value, but to really dive in and look at the core of what is this composed of. But one thing we don't want to doubt is ourselves. And I'm talking about the self in this way, as that individual you, that individual ego. Not in terms of impermanence, not in terms of no self, not in terms of inquiring into who is the one doing this, who is the one acting, not in terms of self-inquiry, but I'm referring to doubt as doubting yourself, doubting your abilities, doubting if you are good enough, doubting if you are worthy enough, doubting in that capacity. And I think it can be incredibly confusing, and for me it has been at times where, because I've been in the doubt frame of mind and I've been a doubter, I've been a questioner, it's easy to take that frame and start to do that with you, start to do that with your abilities. And that's an area where I think it's important to talk about, because I feel like people in the spiritual non-duality community can get confused, because you've been told this concept, you're told to inquire into, but then there's aspects where it's actually not so helpful to be a doubter, and so this is one of them. So when we are doubting ourselves and our abilities, that's actually just a thought. That's actually just a concept. It's an idea where we are thinking, I can't do this. It's putting more strain. It's not, it's just a thought, right? And one of the aspects, or one of the pillars that the Buddha taught, was right thought. And I feel like right thought was something that I neglected, and I think people can neglect in the non-duality community quite easily, because you focus on this more vaster spaciousness. But thought and controlling thoughts is actually something you can do, where you can move your mind into having right thought, having right intention. And part of that means to realize that a doubting thought about yourself is just a thought. And that's it, right? That's it. And so you don't have to serve it, you don't have to fuel it, you don't have to add to it. You can just see it as it is. So yes, that's the differentiation I would say here, is as a spiritual seeker, question, doubt, inquire into. But don't doubt yourself, don't doubt your abilities. That's different. One of them is to gain insight, to gain clarity, but another one is just a thought, just a projection, just something that your mind is creating that can cause you confusion. So, just to end with, I would suggest looking into the contents of these two things, looking into the content of what is a thought that is not serving you. What's the contents of that? How does it arise? What's the pattern that's created this? Look at this in terms of your personal life and your experience. And then the next part is to look into the reasons that inquiry is helpful. And inquiry, to gain some more clarity here, the way that it can be helpful is to look into these characteristics the Buddha taught: impermanence, no self, and what's the third one? Impermanence, no self, and suffering. So those are the keys, I would say. Yeah, let me know what you think, if you've fallen into this trap before, and yeah.